how's it going, YouTube? Back with another sugar-free review. And I was a bit surprised when this arrived in the mail. Was not expecting to get to check this one out. Really cool. Arcane Designs, Brian Brown. Cool looking case, even though it feels a bit cheap. Yeah. And here's the knife. This is a love it or hate it kind of blade shape, and I love it. Yeah, like I said, Arcane Designs Vult, Brian Brown design. This was $350, not cheap. Let's go over the specs. You get a 3.25 inch M390 blade, hawk bill, satin finish, flat grind. Some really sharp edges on it. I think they could have knocked that down. Yeah, really love this blade shape. Hawk bills are a tricky thing because they're not that popular, even though I find them incredibly useful. As long as they're not too much of a hawk bill. Like this is about as extreme as I'd want it. If it gets any more curved, then it starts being kind of a nuisance to sharpen and carry. But yeah, this is about perfect. I got a good comparison for it in a minute, but got a 3mm blade stock or 0.12 inches, so about average. Would check out the edge, but not my knife, and it's been used. It's got an overall length of 7.3 inches, so in that mid to smaller range. Let's compare it to some other knives. Got a couple Brian Browns, of course, the new Civivi X1 budget knife. Just a little bit smaller, not a big difference. Of course, the Brian Brown Uger 3. It is almost identical, maybe a hair bigger than the Vult. So Vult's right in the middle. Then we got the Artisan Cutlery Boa. I thought that was a closer size comparison. But a little bit smaller. And here's my great comparison. A knife that I actually use all the time. I keep it in my kitchen. The Beyond EDC Guerra. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the inspiration from this blade shape came from this knife, honestly. Of course, it's still way different, but I can see a lot of similarities. Yeah. When it's just this much of a hawk bill, you can sharpen it with a regular stone sharpening system, and it's just good at tearing into stuff. It's hard to explain. Got a 4-inch handle, 0.55 inches wide. Close width in the pocket from here to here is 1.4 inches. Got T8 on your body screws. And you do have a milled titanium clip. I'm assuming it's titanium. Better check that. Yep. The clip's a bit shorter, so it's a little bit tighter going in and out of the pocket. But not bad. Could be worse. The handle is a PVD coated titanium. The inlay is also titanium, but it's anodized and got a topo pattern on it. Also, it feels very matte and kind of gives me that chalkboard feeling that I don't like. But yeah, it looks cool. and you don't really notice it when you're holding it. Your deployment methods, of course, you got a front flipper. They could have put some more jimping on it. And of course, your hole cutout, which is my favorite. Good reverse flick, thumb flick. Oh yeah, works good. And this is a inset liner lock. Bit surprising. Expecting a frame lock. And a bit of a smaller knife, really. You do kind of have a choil area right here. Depending on how big your fingers are, it works. I don't know if it was meant for that. But I guess you can move down. You'll be right at the tail of the knife, though. Yeah, 3.7 ounces. I don't know if I said that already. Let me check. Weight relief. There is a couple cutouts on the show side, but not on the liner side. You have a titanium backspacer, nearly full length. It's got the logo on it. I believe the only branding, Arcane times Brian Brown. It is. I don't even think it says the blade. Yeah, it does have the blade still. I'm lying. Yeah, no lanyard hole. Looks like you can sharpen it for days. Good sharpening. Not the thinnest behind the edge, but not thick either. And back to ergos. If you got a bigger hand or a fatter hand, this knife might not be for you, but it's alright for me. Dislikes, of course, like I said, it's a bit smaller than I'd like it to be. Clip is non-reversible. I know that'll bug some people. It's PVD coated at this price point. It should be DLC. Not in love with the matte chalkboard finish on the inlay. That's just me. And lastly, they could have put some more jimping on the front flipper. None of these dislikes are really that big, except for the coating. It does bug me. Of course it is expensive. Of course it is overpriced. But if you want to pay it, it's not bad. I like it. Money's just a thing. Comes and goes. Yeah. This knife's still in stock right now, so I'll link it down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a like and a comment, and see you in the next one.